Ozempic, a drug that needs little introduction, has trended on social media, dominated global health conversations, and even influenced pharma stock markets, and now it has arrived in India. Praised, debated, and widely discussed for its impact on diabetes and weight loss, this blockbuster GLP-1 injection from Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk is now officially available in the country. To understand what this launch means for India and its impacts on patient and company's wider strategy, I have with me on the show Vikrant Shrotriya, Managing Director, Novo Nordisk India. Vikrant, thank you so much for joining us and coming all the way to our studio. Many congratulations on the launch. And let me start by asking you this, that India now has more than 100 million people living with diabetes. And what gap does Ozempic, do you think, is going to fill in here? And for clarity, what exactly has been approved? Who is it meant for? And how are doctors expected to use it?
Thank you very much, Neetu, for the invitation, and pleasure to be here. I think you are joining the voices against diabetes. And that's the same thing actually which we are doing with the launch of Ozempic for type 2 diabetes. Now you know that this is a problem or a disease which is actually increasing, and when you say about 100 million, it's not a small number, it's a staggering number. And this number is not stopping, whether it is rural India or whether it is urban India. There have been many of the treatments which are available. But with the launch of Semaglutide, we are actually introducing a very, very powerful anti-diabetes agent, or you call it anti-glycemic agent, which can reduce glycemic levels by 2.8% HbA1c. And that's by just one injection a week. And alongside, you know that many of the diabetes patients are also obese. So it also substantially reduces their weight. And not only that, it has also the claim in terms of benefits of cardiovascular benefits and also the kidney benefits which are also there with this medication. So it fills the void of a very, very powerful agent which was required, which actually addresses the disease multifactorial, rather than just at a pancreas level or just at an appetite level or a glucose uptake, or at a tissue level utilization. It actually tackles the disease multifactorial. And that's why it became almost a drug of choice for many of the diabetologists and endocrinologists across the globe. And also, now if you see any of the treatment algorithm, whether it is ADA, whether it is EASD, many of those treatment algorithms, you will find GLP-1 right in the beginning after diet and exercise.
Okay, Vikrant, Ozempic has been available globally for years and it arrives in India much later, just as the patent is set to expire next year. So do you believe that this late entry puts the product at a disadvantage?
I don't think so, because the first thing is to getting the innovation in India, and it is just incidental that the expiry of the patent is coming by March, all right? But just look at the population size. You have got 100 million people. Half of them don't even know that they have diabetes. And then the half of them who know, only 50% of them are taking treatment. And the optimal outcome is just 6.5%. So very few people have got the optimum outcome. In fact, we have seen that out of 100 people, 77 people don't have, or 70% of the people don't have the right HbA1c control. So I think so that the need and the urgency is now. But on the other side, earlier could have been better. But we were not knowing the kind of potential this medication has got. When it got launched, the demand outstripped the supply. And we never wanted to launch it, that we launch in a country and then there is a short supply. We wanted with an ensurement that once we launch, it is available in the country for the treatment of type 2 diabetes for the population uninterrupted.
Okay, having said that you'll be ensuring that there is enough supply of the medicine in India. So what are the strategies in place that will ensure this, that all of the Indians will have access to it?
Yeah, and that's very, very important, that when we launch a medication, we are known for it. Like for the last 100 years, across the globe, we have been one of the principal supplier of protein, that means insulin. Every second person on earth actually uses our insulin. So is in India. In India, we have got uninterrupted presence for the last 4 decades, wherein every second person is actually taking Novo Nordisk insulin. And we are known for that reliability, that trust, that education, that awareness. It's not only selling or giving pharmaceutical solution. We believe we are an agent for a better healthcare. And I think so when we are launching right now Ozempic, we have made sure that from our factories, we get enough supply for pan-India launch uninterrupted.
So would you like to share with our viewers what is the price point like? Because for weight loss drugs and anti-obesity drugs by your company or maybe other companies across the globe, they have been quite unaffordable. So what is the price point like for this particular medicine?
And when we launched actually Semaglutide for obesity, we heard patients, we heard doctors, and we did an introspection that what should be the right price at which the accessibility of this medication becomes much more higher and stronger. And then we took a very bold step of cutting down the prices by 37%. That was huge. And we have seen that with that kind of a price cut, the accessibility of the medication has improved. So when now we are launching in type 2 diabetes, Ozempic, we are trying to launch in the similar kind of a range. In fact, this is just 2,200 rupees per week injection. So 0.25 to start with is going to be rupees 8,800 for a month. And I think so that's a very India tailored price, which is actually there. And when people go from this price to the next level, it's just increasing marginally. And then the last strength, which is 1 milligram, is just 11,175. So it really becomes quite affordable for a large population in India.
So when we talk about the sales and of your already launched drug Wegovy, so if you look at the other medicines like Mounjaro, the sales for Wegovy have been moderate while others are expanding fast. What gives you that confidence that Ozempic is going to be successful in India?
Yeah, I mean, it's the game in metabolic disease is not a play for 1 month, 1 quarter, or a 1 year. We are there in insulin business and with a very high patient-centric approach for 100 years, right? And we are still producing insulin. Now, this is just the start of the journey. It's a marathon. Only the 1 lap is there, which has happened. It's only 7-8 months, right? We have just scratched the surface when it comes to accessibility of this GLP-1. If you look at the number of people who should require, whether it is in diabetes or whether it is in obesity for obesity medication, huge population. And there are only 100,000 people who have accessed GLP-1 till now. So there is a large room to play in terms of bringing that access. I think the more important part of us is not who comes first and who comes second and who comes third. The important part which we would like to play is people should be aware that they need to control their diabetes. People should be aware that they need to control their metabolic disorders. Otherwise, they are walking towards complications. And that's very, very important. And we want to be part and parcel of that journey along with the healthcare providers, government, policymaker, so that we can together bend the curve of diabetes. And there is no shining in saying that we are becoming a diabetes capital of the world, we are becoming an obese capital of the world. I think we should be the fit capital of the world. And that is the advocacy. Me and my team actually, we march in India for that dream together.
Okay, having said that, when we look at the global scenario, there have been some lawsuits in the US and in India also. There have been some concerns about anti-obesity drugs and there have been some concerns about gastrointestinal complications. So how will you ensure that there is a patient safety and awareness is in place in India while after launching this drug?
Yeah, first of all, I should say that when we have got these medications, whether it is for diabetes or for obesity, these semaglutides, they have been tested out, tried out in phase 3 clinical trials robustly. And the drug regulators, whether it is in US, Europe, India or any part of the world, have critically evaluated the approval process of benefit versus risk profile. And to say the benefits definitely outscore, and that is why we have got 38 million years usage of semaglutide in the world. More than 7.5 million people are actually using semaglutide. Now, on the other side, on the pharmacovigilance front, being a very responsible pharmaceutical company, we are very, very active. And we are always in tune with the regulators for any of the things which emerges, because I don't think so we are interested in selling. We are interested in providing the solution which really can make a difference. And I personally believe that these solutions which are emerging from our laboratories have got great meaning in countries like India.
Another question I would like to touch upon, that Indian courts are hearing cases around semaglutide and including patent challenges by domestic companies. Now, how does Novo Nordisk view this landscape, and what does it mean for the competition?
I would say that these are all under sub judice, and our lawyers are reviewing these kind of situations where the patents are being challenged, and I think so. They will take a very meaningful call on these kind of subjects, and then we have got very competent staff to look into these kind of matters.
So, as in the competition in the GLP-1 space is increasing every day, what are you doing to stay ahead of the others?
I think I am staying ahead of the curve in my commitment rather than by competition. I mean, some people call it what about the patents, and I say what about the purpose. I think I am driven by the purpose, by the trust, by the reliability, by the continuity of that supply, by the way our manufacturing is happening with the rDNA technology, in terms of by the complete care cool chain by which the end consumer or the patient actually get a cold chain product, and which we have been actually robusting or strengthening for the last 4 decades. I think these are also very, very important parameter in terms of offering a solution to doctors and patients. And I think we are driven by that. And this kind of a competition we have also seen even in generic space in insulin. But that every second patient, despite that, still takes Novo Nordisk insulin. And we like that, we respect that, and we get a huge sense of, you can say, motivation with this particular fact. And we continue this fight against these metabolic disorders with the same spirit that yes, competition is there, but can we collaborate, can we cooperate together? Can we join in the journey against the disease? And of course, in that journey, we would like to lead in a pole position.
Fantastic. What are the expansion plans? Are you also looking to bring some more therapies that are maybe oral for anti-obesity space, maybe semaglutide or any newer therapy if you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, and then our scientists are actually working day and night in terms of finding out better and better solution. And you saw that in the GLP-1 journey, much more better solutions are coming, whether for diabetes and obesity. Oral agents which are already there for the diabetes, which has already been launched in India for last 4 years. And now we are just around the corner for oral semaglutide, even for obesity. Apart from that, there are many other molecules which are there in the pipeline. CagriSema, amitriptyline, they are also there in the pipeline to provide better solution, whether for diabetes or for obesity and also other metabolic disorders. I think that commitment to continue the fight and to use the protein chemistry and to use our platform for finding out the science and turning that into solution is something which we are driven of.
Many thanks, Vikrant. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and thank you so much for all those valuable insights.
Thank you very much, Neetu, for having me here, and we stay connected. Thank you.
Sure. We will be closely tracking how newly launched treatment options like Ozempic shape India's healthcare landscape. With that, we move on to other news and updates here on Business Today. Stay tuned.